So let's dive straight into it, shall we? You might have seen the headlines: Secret Peace Summit between Harry and Charles, olive branches being extended, and my personal favorite, Harry wants back in. And while the British media are out here playing peacemakers like it's a feel-good rom-com, let me ask you this. What are they really trying to sell us, and why now? Let's rewind. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, son of the King, veteran advocate, Invictus Games founder, father, husband, walked away from the royal machine in 2020. Not because he wanted to abandon his duties, but because that institution was suffocating him and his wife to the point of emotional collapse. The attacks were constant, the family silent, and the palace complicit, so he stepped out for survival. And what did the firm do in return? They took his security, not figuratively, literally. They stripped a man who served 2 tours in Afghanistan, a man born into fame, who cannot blend in at a local Sainsbury's if he tried, of his police protection. And when he asked to pay for it himself, they said no. Why? Because it's never been about the money. It's about control, about humiliation, about punishing him for leaving. So when Harry says that if his father would just step out of the way, he could regain that protection, it's not hyperbole, it's not drama, it's the truth. And now they want to act like this cozy little summit over wine and cheese is a sign of reconciliation. Let me be clear, there's no peace if only one side is asked to forget. There's no reconciliation if Harry's pain is still being dismissed as disloyalty. And there is no family reunion if your security is still up for debate. The media loves to paint Harry as the lost prince crawling back. But let's look at what really happened. It wasn't Harry walking into Buckingham Palace with a white flag. It was a delegation. Meredith Maines, his powerhouse comms officer and head of household in Montecito, flew in from Los Angeles. Alongside her, David Maguire, a former military man and Invictus Games collaborator. This wasn't a come-get-me daddy plea. This was a calculated strategic meeting, handled like a high-level negotiation. Because Harry isn't just a royal. He's a man with a brand, a team, and a mission. But let's not ignore what this meeting really reveals. The royal family finally understands that the walls are crumbling. Public sympathy is shifting. Meghan and Harry's Netflix series, their Archewell work, Meghan's new lifestyle brand as ever, they're building something lasting, something human, something the stiff-collared, brush-it-under-the-rug monarchy never knew how to do. And it's working. Now, of course, Harry has said he doesn't expect full forgiveness. He knows. He knows they won't forget that he told the truth, that he wrote a book, that he said a family member made racist comments about his unborn child, that he exposed the physical fight with his brother because, silence in that palace has always been a royal command. Let's talk about that memoir for a second. Spare wasn't just a book, it was a torch, a fire starter. It exposed the cracks in the castle walls, the jealousies, the betrayals, the reality. Harry revealed how William lunged at him, physically assaulted him over Meghan, how the palace encouraged feeding Meghan to the press to protect others, and how one or more people in that royal household, yes, family, expressed concern over what color Archie's skin would be, a baby, before he was even born. Let that sink in. In the corridors of royal power while Meghan was carrying their child, someone thought the priority wasn't her safety, her well-being, her mental health, but the tone of her baby's skin. That's not just racist, it's dehumanizing. And Harry? He didn't bury that truth. He exposed it, even knowing the firestorm it would cause, because silence would have made him complicit. The institution showed Harry who they were, and so he left. And not just left, escaped. And that's what led them to Montecito. They didn't move to California for sunshine and smoothies. They moved because they were under siege, because Meghan was suicidal and the palace wouldn't help, because the media's abuse had become unbearable, because Harry knew staying meant sacrificing the woman he loved to a machine that already took his mother. So they packed up, left behind titles, staff, and taxpayer perks, and chose freedom, real freedom, privacy, agency, peace. Montecito wasn't exile, it was a declaration. A new chapter, one they would write themselves. And let's not act like it was easy. When they landed in the States, they had no formal income, no security, no plan other than survival. Tyler Perry, yes, that Tyler Perry, offered them a home and protection. That's the level of vulnerability they were facing. That's how little the royal family did to protect them. And still, Meghan and Harry got up, created Archewell, launched projects, produced content that shared their truth, won Emmy nominations, broke Spotify records, partnered with global charities, laid the foundation for a legacy that's theirs, not borrowed from a crown. Now back to the present day. This so-called summit, it didn't happen because Harry begged. It happened because the institution is, honestly, bleeding relevance. Because the Sussexes are, well, winning hearts across continents while the firm is just stuck spinning PR fairy tales. Harry has never demanded the throne. He's not asking for crowns or ceremonies. He's just asking for security and respect. He's asking that his wife not be vilified, that his kids be protected, and that the truth be acknowledged. And let's get real. If this family can't even offer that, what exactly is being reconciled? Because Harry isn't crawling back. He's not lost. He's liberated. He's not hoping to be forgiven for telling the truth. He's wondering how they sleep at night knowing they tried to silence it. You want a reunion? Then recognize what went wrong. When Meghan cried out for help, where were you? When Harry asked to pay for security, why did you say no? When Archie's existence was questioned before he even took his first breath, what did you do? And that's why this peace summit will only mean something if it includes real change. Not just palace press statements, not just lip service. We're talking apologies. We're talking restoration. We're talking consequences for the silence and complicity that nearly destroyed a young family. Harry isn't looking for pity. He's asking for accountability. And Meghan, she's not just surviving, she's thriving, launching brands, uplifting women, changing narratives, and honestly proving every single day that she is more than the headlines they tried to bury her under. So let this be clear. If this meeting between Harry's team and King Charles's aides is the beginning of something, let it be the beginning of truth. Because the real crown jewel isn't Buckingham Palace. It's honesty. It's healing. It's, choosing love over legacy. And that, my friends, is exactly what Harry and Meghan have done. So no, he's not crawling back, he's walking forward. And if the palace wants to join him on that journey, they better come with humility. They better come correct. And now we enter the final chapter of this saga, conflict resolution. Because even after all the damage, all the pain, and all the betrayal, Harry has left the door open. He has shown time and again that he's not here for vengeance. He's here for peace with conditions. He wants his children to know their family, not the fantasy version, but the real one, if that real one is capable of love and accountability. He wants Archie and Lilibet to understand their heritage without being devoured by it. And Charles? This is the moment to act like a father first and a monarch second. This is the moment to step up, not with ceremony, but with sincerity. A private apology would mean more than a public portrait. A real conversation means more than a photo op. Will it be awkward? Yes. Will it be uncomfortable? Absolutely. But healing always is. That healing might start with a simple truth. I didn't protect you, and I should have. Imagine the power of that. Imagine if William could say, I let my loyalty to the crown override my loyalty to you as my brother, and I'm sorry. We might actually believe in reconciliation if we saw that kind of courage. Because conflict resolution isn't just about a handshake. It's about transforming the root causes. It's about, creating new boundaries, building healthier dynamics and ending toxic cycles. Harry doesn't want a title back. He wants his dignity acknowledged. And Meghan? She doesn't need their forgiveness. She needs them to stop pretending she was the problem. And the British media? They need to stop writing their fantasies and start dealing with the reality that their favorite villains just keep thriving. This summit, if real, can be the start of something better. Not a fairy tale, but a reckoning. One where accountability finally replaces silence. Where humanity finally replaces hierarchy. Where love finally wins over legacy. Because Harry and Meghan? They've already chosen healing. Now it's time for the monarchy to catch up. And if they don't? That's fine too, because the Sussexes have already built their palace, and it's one made of truth. Not stone, not lies, not fear, but truth. And that's stronger than any crown.